Y'all, let me tell you why I love God, and He is so wise in how He moves and operates, especially dealing with stubborn, rebellious human beings. So one of the ways God deals with us, especially as believers, is through confirmation and correction. However, I want to focus on this video more on correction, because this phrase of only God can judge me is used and abused so heavily, especially within the church. And I'm tired of the enemy taking advantage of God's people. Y'all, let me tell you why God uses other believers to correct or judge His people. Because He knows that in that correction, both people are actually being tested in the area of humility. The one doing the correction and the one receiving the correction. So if that's the case, let's kind of deal with this only God can judge me nonsense. Let's actually go to the passage where it's being twisted by the enemy and see what our Lord is really saying in context. So the phrase that is quoted and misquoted comes from the book of Matthew chapter 7. And in that, He's teaching the people that before we can make a righteous judgment about our brother, we must first make sure that we are not walking in hypocrisy. And what is hypocrisy? In short terms, it's not walking the talk. Jesus never said to never judge your brother or correct him. Jesus said first, remove the sin from your own life before you can clearly see and remove the sin in your brother's life. That's what He said. And actually, Christians are called to judge on many occasions concerning all types of people. We're called to judge false prophets, seen in Matthew 7:15 through 20. False teachers, 2 Peter 2. False gospels, Galatians 1:8 through 9. And false Christians, 1 Corinthians 5. And while we're actually on the topic of false Christians, Paul clearly says in that part of the chapter to remove the false Christian from their assembly and hand him over to Satan in the hopes of saving his soul. So with that in mind, let's be very clear when it comes to believers who are caught in sin and what we should do with them. Galatians 6:1 says that we who are spiritual, meaning those who are actually walking the talk and walking out their faith, should restore that brother in a spirit of gentleness. And Matthew 18:15 through 17 says we are to actually go and tell our brother his sin or fault in private. And actually, Paul says that leaders who are caught in sin are to be rebuked in the presence of the entire assembly as a warning and an example to all, as stated in 1 Timothy 5:20. 2 Timothy 4:2 commands believers to reprove, rebuke, and exhort. Of course, with complete patience in teaching. But what I want to do is go back to 1 Corinthians 5 verses 9. I think it's 9 through 12, because it's very clear on what we should do with fake Christians. And I quote, "When I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sin. But I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin, or are greedy, or cheat people, or worship idols. If that was the case, you would have to leave this entire world to avoid people like that. No, I meant that you are to not associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, a Christian, or a brother, yet indulges in sexual sin, is greedy, worship idols, or is abusive, or a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people. It isn't my responsibility or ours to judge outsiders, but it is certainly your responsibility, Christian, to judge those inside the church who are sinning. God will judge those on the outside. But as scriptures say, you, brother, you, Christian, are to remove the evil person from among you. AKA, judge those who are sinning inside the church. Clear as day. Family of God, you're welcome.